Alright. Yeah. I recommend sitting on the ball.
Alright.
This time I don't have any sort of video recording. It is literally just audio recording. So make sure you speak clearly into the microphone. I'm going to regret doing that once I go back in editing, I swear. Okay. So. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory. No, I'm not sorry like that.
Oh my god, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
I'm not putting that in either. Either that or I'll put it at the end. Alright. This is why I don't think I should do a podcast, is because it's just too much having fun and not actually talking about stuff. We're not even to the first bullet point. And that's introducing the podcast.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Tickling.
Let me take a breath.
Oh my god, that would be bloopers, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Maybe I should just make a outtakes or full recording video as well. Put that in the description.
That'd be
Unlisted.
funny. Yeah, you gotta do the bloopers. Come on, bloopers are funny as hell.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, let's get to intro.
Alright. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Plushie Podcast, a podcast in which I, Plush, host and do whatever I want. This is not a weekly thing or bi-weekly. It's whenever I feel like it. And this is technically the first episode. I am here today with Fluffy.
Yo.
And we did record something way back on May 22nd. But let's just say me and her really didn't know what we were doing. I will put a link to that in the description in an unlisted video if I remember. I'm not sure if I'll remember though. So, yeah. So this podcast is just sort of a whatever, whenever I want to talk about a subject with someone else. This will be not for when I want to talk about something on my own. That will probably be its own series. So, the cat is already yelling at me. So, today we are going to be talking about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes along with Pokemon Legends Arceus. These two games are being released in the near future, with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl's remakes being released in November, while Pokemon Legends Arceus is going to be released in January. So we both have a bit of a history with Pokemon as a whole. Do you want to start with your history of... No? You want me to?
Yeah.
She pointed at me for anyone that's listening. So, for me, my history with Pokemon starts about when I was too young to actually remember. When I was a kid, I had the Game Boy Advance, and so I had Emerald and Fire Red. I played Fire Red more, and I know that I beat that, while I do not think I beat Emerald. KJ. Alright, I'm gonna have to edit this out, but the cat really wants on my lap. You up? There you go. Okay. After the Game Boy Advance, though, I got more into Pokemon because of the show, in which I watched the full series from the very first episode all the way up to the Diamond and Pearl series. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum were the games that I played the most on the Nintendo DS. I played that with Burnsy all the time. And so a lot of my real nostalgia is with Diamond and Pearl, especially Diamond. After that, I had a bit of a dip in how much I played. I only got a scratch of white in, and I didn't have a 3DS until the Switch was already out. So my next Pokemon game was actually Pokemon Go all the way in 2016, if you don't count side games such as the Mystery Dungeon games, which are huge for me. But for the main game's sake, and for remakes of them, that's about where I jumped back in, was with Let's Go Eevee. After Let's Go Eevee, which I personally did enjoy, I did start playing some of the previous 3DS and White 2 Pokemon games. And I did get Sword because Fluffy gave it to me despite me saying I was not going to get it. So thank you, but also I said I wasn't going to. But I wasn't too big about Sword, but that's also because of all the stuff around it, because part of the reason why I wanted the game was so I could transfer Pokemon all the way from Fire Red, Emerald, Diamond, White 2, all the way up through the generations. And for those of you who don't know, Sword and Shield had that drama where not every Pokemon was coded into the game, especially early on. And so that almost killed my motivation for Pokemon. The side games thankfully saved it, and I still like a lot of the online stuff, for better or for worse. And so these Diamond and Pearl remakes are sort of a conundrum for me, because it's like I want it to be good, I fear it, but also I do have some hopes. But before we get into that, Fluffy, would you like to talk about your history with Pokemon?
Yeah, sure. I really just started with Diamond because I kept stealing my brother's copy because he wouldn't let me play, so I stole it when he wasn't around. And I just played randomly from there on out. It's kind of sporadic, but I played through all the generations. Gen 4, Diamond being my first game. Then I played through the Gen 5 games. Can't complain. Played through Gen 6 when it really hit hard again, when I really liked Pokemon. Then I got Sun, Moon, the Gen 3 remakes. Then I got essentially both sets of Kanto remakes more recently. And Sword and Shield has been really fun for me. Although, every time I play through any of the games, Platinum being my favorite nowadays, I just play through with a Flareon.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Fluffy's name is literally based on...
what I named my Flareon.
Yep. And it was sort of a nickname I gave her on stream, and she's rolled with it since.
Pretty much.
Alright, so... the Diamond and Pearl remakes were announced early 2021, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a lot of mixed opinions about the game when it first came out on, like, the trailers and whatnot. A lot of people were confused about the art style because of the fact that it has its own little chibi art style, which, in my opinion, I'm not too, like, awfully worried about. I personally like the art style, but I do see where people are a bit wonky about it, because it's nothing like Sword and Shield. People were expecting it to be like Sword and Shield. What's your thoughts on it?
I'm actually just really excited for it, but the one thing I would...
Well, about the art style, though, specifically.
About the art style, I'm not complaining. I mean, it's just opinionated what people think of the art. I'm okay with it. I'm just happy we're getting remakes.
Yeah. Well, that's also the thing, though, is these remakes are going to be unlike the other remakes before it. Because, like with something like Soul Silver, Fire Red, Omega Ruby, those games all communicated with the generation they came out. So Soul Silver could connect to Diamond, Omega Ruby could connect to Y, Fire Red could connect to Emerald, and so on and so forth. A lot of people are worried about the Diamond and Pearl remakes, which, by the way, is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. A lot of people are worried about the fact that these won't be able to communicate with Sword and Shield in any fashion, because of the fact that these games will have a Pokédex that isn't fully compatible with it. Because there are some Pokemon that appear in, say, Diamond and Pearl that are not yet able to be shown in Sword and Shield. Do you really care if Diamond and Pearl's remakes connect to Sword and Shield, or any opinion there?
I think it'd be kind of cool, because it'd be kind of fun to use some of the Galarian mons, like Galarian Zigzagoon in a playthrough of Platinum.
Right.
Diamond and Pearl.
The problem I do see is I don't think it's going to be possible unless they make Sword and Shield able to, like, include all Pokemon from at least Generation 4 and before. And if you remember all that drama that happened, that's not going to happen unless they make some real big changes real fast. I personally don't play Sword enough to really care if they connect, but it would be nice. And it would more clearly define which generation the game is in. Because one thing about, say, Let's Go Eevee is while it couldn't connect to Sun and Moon, it was still sort of a Generation 7 game because of the fact that it could connect to Pokemon Go, which also counts as Gen 7, and which is weird. And also included things like the Alolan Pokemon, but not the Galarian Pokemon that were released later. So, before we continue to Legends Arceus, what are a few rumors that you may have heard about the Diamond and Pearl remakes? Any?
I really haven't heard the rumors. I actually haven't been paying much attention to the remakes. With the rumors and such. I don't know. There's only like one thing I'm hoping for this remake, but did you wanna bring up your concerns?
Well, I think my biggest concern is the fact that Diamond and Pearl does rely a bit heavily on internet and local connection. Excuse me. The internet and local connections being two different things. So, even though I am glad to see the Underground, I'm worried about how it's going to be handled, because if they make it an internet thing, that could really screw up how the Underground works and might make it difficult to use. And that was one of the things that I really loved in Diamond.
It's a fun way to farm fossils and fires and elemental stones.
Yep, and people like me and Bernsey also made our own bases, and we love to set it all up, set up traps everywhere for each other. One of the issues I can see if they make the Underground an internet thing is, even if it's from hackers or not, traps being literally everywhere to the point to where you can't do anything with it. Or the spots that you can mine up, say fossils or spheres or anything like that, being all taken up too quickly because of how many people are in the Underground at once. Because, once you dig a spot, no other player is able to dig that specific spot for a while.
I did not actually know that. I didn't get to play Diamond and Pearl with the internet.
This wasn't an internet thing. This was if you played the Underground and could connect to other players that were nearby. Nintendo WFC, I believe, is what it was called. But instead of it being over the Wi-Fi, it was basically anyone that was nearby. That's also how me and Bernsey used to connect to each other to battle all the time. So, because neither of us lived in a house that had an internet that the DS could be compatible with at the time. Which is sort of interesting to really think about nowadays, because, yeah, the DS's internet was actually sort of terrible if you didn't have a open internet or WEP, which is considered one of the weakest security types out there. Another big worry of mine is how they're going to handle the story when it comes to the main climax. Because Diamond and Pearl obviously don't include Giratina at all. My sort of concern is how are they going to deal with Giratina either being in the game or not in the game, and will they make it to where Giratina is a post-story mission? Will they somehow change it to where Giratina does show up regardless of which Pokemon version you're playing? And if so, what would that mean for the box legendary if they do that? Any thoughts on that?
No thoughts on that, but there's one thing that does concern me.
Yeah?
I know it's going to sound random to some people, but Diamond and Pearl did not have the best Pokédex at all. Especially when you lean toward the fire typing, you had 2 options, and if you didn't get the fire starter, you only had the Ponyta line. Platinum expanded that by giving you Eevee that you can evolve into Flareon, which is probably my obvious point. But it also gave you Houndour, it gave you the Magmar line, and I know it gave you a couple others as well. It gave you more of a variety of fire types.
Yep. My thing with the fire type conundrum when it comes to Diamond and Pearl is I'm that person that always really chose Chimchar anyways. So I never really ran into this problem until later replay throughs in which I decided to try the other stars and realized, oh hey, no fire types. It never really affected me though, personally, but that's also because I didn't really play the games too seriously.
I also always started with a Turtwig, except for my first run through where I had a Chimchar. Other than that, I've always had a Turtwig. I prefer Turtwig, or I had the occasional Piplup, but I prefer Turtwig. Why I prefer the grass type starter.
We can also let the audience sort of assume which Pokemon we're going to start with.
Yep.
By the way, both of us plan on Jesus, I cannot speak. Both of us plan on getting Brilliant Diamond, which is, of course, the one with Dialga. I believe, and I don't know if Burnsy's okay with me just saying this out loud, because I don't think I've even mentioned to him that, I might do a podcast. But I know that Burnsy also mentioned he might get either Shining Pearl or he might get both. And this is just a personal nitpick. I don't like that the Pokemon Company is releasing like those dual game version things. I'm not sure if it's like both games are on one cart or if it's just you buy both carts or something. But something about it just seems wrong to me. Fluffy has no opinion. Oh, excuse me. Fluffy doesn't seem to have an opinion.
Some people want to have both so they don't have to find someone to trade with online to get version exclusive if they want to complete the decks, which was originally what Pokemon was about.
Yeah, but also the reason why there were version differences in the first place was so that you would connect to other people, whether it be...
Or it's just a money grab stunt, who knows?
Oh, it could be a money grab stunt too, but if, say, you had Pokemon... I'm going to go with Pokemon Ruby. Let's say you had that, and you had a friend that had Sapphire. It would get you and your friend to, communicate, play together more. Of course, not everyone did this. Some people do buy both versions of a game. And that's fair. That's their money. That's their choice. I'm not one to really say, hey, you can't do that. I just think that it's a bit weird and out of the spirit of having separate versions if you're going to sell both versions together anyways.
Could be a hint for a Platinum remake.
I doubt a Platinum remake, considering that we have not seen a remake of Platinum, we have not seen a remake of Crystal, and we have not
Emerald.
seen... Well, Crystal too, because Soul Silver, Heart Gold.
Yep.
And we haven't seen Emerald remake, right. And we haven't seen... Well, Let's Go technically counts as a remake for Let's Go, or for Pokemon Yellow. But at the same time, how much does it... I mean, I guess that counts.
It's pretty accurate, especially with Let's Go Pikachu, which is probably essentially just a more high-definition version of Pokemon Yellow, because it does have a Pikachu. Let's Go Eevee just replaced it with an Eevee instead of a Pikachu.
I still like Let's Go Eevee because Eevee's cute. I guess as an intermission, before we go on to Legends Arceus...
I thought we were going to talk about what team we were going to pick.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that too. For me, I'm obviously going to go with Chimchar, and it's likely I'm going to recruit a Baneri as early as I can. Probably a Shinx. And I also have to definitely go with the bird of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
I love Starly.
The bird.
You're a dork.
I actually don't know what water type I want to go with, though. In the original, way back when, I used to always... I had a Magikarp that I evolved into a Gyarados. But this time around, I might try to go for a Buizel. I'm not sure, though, because Buizel is also a bit later into the game. I think later than Baneri is.
No, you can get Weasel right outside the Valley of Windward shortly after the first gym, before you even fight the commander. That's where I always got mine, right? It's quite literally in that patch of grass right by the Windward.
I'll have to try it at some point, because I genuinely don't remember that. I forgot
No
who.
platinum.
Oh. I forgot who my 6th usually was up until I got Dialga, but once I got Dialga... Oh yeah, I also had the barrel that was my TM slave.
HM.
HM slave, TM slave, it's basically the same thing. And then I got Dialga, so he stayed on my team. What's your team gonna be? Flareon?
Well, if I can get a Flareon, I'm definitely going for it. But if not, then I'm definitely going to be starting off with my Turtwig. Get the Shinx, get the Starly. I'm going to have to hit up a Weasel, because it's one of my favorites. Until I can get a Finneon, because I've got a soft spot for Finneon and Luminion from a Wonderlock I did forever ago. I never finished it because I lost it, but I was very fond of it. And I'm thinking about getting the Lucario egg, the Riolu egg you get later on in the game. I'm thinking about using that and the Lucario, and I'm planning to use Dialga. If I can get a Flareon, I'm going for it. If not, I can always just pick up a Ponyta early on.
Maybe I'm stupid, but I thought the Riolu egg was something that you can only get in the post-game.
No, you can get it during the main storyline. You just gotta go to Iron Island and do all the double battles with Riley. At the end of the cave, he gives you the Riolu egg.
I remember doing it, I guess I never did it before beating the game.
Yep, I played through the game way too much for my own good.
Alright, intermission now. So, me and Fluffy were out at a mall earlier today, and we both saw that Build-A-Bear had some score bunnies. So, me and her both got these score bunnies, and mine is named Bun Bun, and hers is named after a Henry Stickmin character.
I named him Rupert Price and put him in military gear, which is way too big for him.
Yep. And mine's in a Pokeball shirt and a tutu. And if you looked at me and her and looked at these score bunnies, you would probably think that it was the other way around.
Nope.
I think it is kind of funny. I need to take a picture of the two together to show on screen later on.
That could be a thumbnail.
It could be a thumbnail. But we're also not really talking about them. This is like just sort of, yeah, we both have score bunnies now. How many Pokemon Build-A-Bears do you have again?
Eevee, Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon. I got that Pichu, and then I got this one, so I got 6.
Yeah, and
Flareon being my favorite. And it's actually known on Facebook that I got him on January 31st, so Fluffy is over 1 year old.
Nice. I have the Scorbunny as well. I also have a Pichu and an Eevee, and I have a Vaporeon too. I think I might have more. My brain is not working on figuring out who I have. But yeah, we both have been to Build-A-Bear a couple of times in the last couple of years. Anyways, now we're going to go on to Pokemon Legends Arceus. Or Arceus. Or Arceus.
Arceus. I watch M&J TV, that's the way he pronounces it, so I just think it's fun to try to repeat it.
There's way too many pronunciations for the Pokemon. There's like 3 official namings for Arceus. I just say Arceus because that's what I remember from way back when. And a lot of people say that it's Arceus, so I don't
Most
know.
people don't pronounce it as Arceus because it has the word arse, the British terminology for butt. Or ass.
Well, that's a bit arsey of them.
Oh my god. Keep your day job. Keep the day job.
My day job's an afternoon job, though.
Keep your job.
Anyways, so this game's going to be coming out in January, and
January 28th, 2022.
yep, and I don't think either of us are going to be getting it.
I'm really considering getting it because I think it'd be a lot of fun. I know I struggle with some open world games, but this one looks like it'd be a lot of fun for me.
You got sick from Pokemon Snap.
I know.
I would be worried about you doing it, and if you do, please keep your phone dialed at 911 ready to hit at all times.
I got Tums in my room, I'll live.
Yeah, so obviously Fluffy has issues when it comes to games 3D spaces. She couldn't
Unless it's like straightforward, then if it's straightforward, I'm okay. But if it's a camera that, say, I bump one of my joysticks and all of a sudden it's spinning like crazy, I'd get motion sickness. But if I'm like careful with it and I move it like slowly and gently, I'm usually okay.
A good example is that she does all right with the 3D mainline games such as Let's Go Eevee and X and Y,
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield, but she wasn't able to handle new Pokemon Snap, and she's not even able to watch Minecraft without getting a bit sick.
Because people keep moving the cameras too dang fast. They're like here, then all of a sudden they're over here, and it's like, wait, what? And everything moves so fast, I feel sick.
Yeah. For me, I'm probably not going to get Legends Arceus myself because it just doesn't look like the type of game that I would want to play anyways. The open worldness is nice, but I was never really one for actually going and hunting for the Pokemon.
Yeah, I think it might be fun.
It might be.
I'm aiming to get it. Now I'm just figuring out what starter I want to get. I'm leaning more towards like Oshawott because I'm gonna piss off a lot of people, but I don't like Rowlet.
I don't think Rowlet's the popular one of that generation.
No, it was. It was either
I thought
Rowlet,
it was Lynn.
I think it's either Rowlet or Litten, and then Poplio got trashed.
I'm pretty sure it's Lynn, considering Incineroar was the Pokemon that got into Smash Bros.
Fair point.
If I were to get it, I would definitely go with Oshawott as well, because I do like Oshawott. But I cannot see this game coming out in good shape, if I'm going to be honest. Because do you remember watching any of the trailers for this game?
I watched one trailer and I thought it was kind of neat.
It's a neat concept, but there's a lot of like background issues. Like there's one point where the player is stalking a Chingling who's moving in a very stuttery motion as it flies around.
Well, that's just because that's how it levitates. That's usually how it's shown in some later 3D models.
No, not the fact that it's levitating. The fact that the game actually stutters and is unable to follow Chingling correctly to the point where they're jumping around on the screen. That's the point that people are worried about.
I think that's probably just because it's so early on in development. What we're seeing is like maybe some of the some of the stuff in editing. Like, they're probably going to edit this out and work it out as much as they can before the game releases next year.
That's sort of the big thing on the internet, though, right now, is a lot of people are saying that the game cannot come out in January. It needs more time, considering the trailer came out, a couple of months ago, and it's only, maybe 6-7 months until it releases?
About a little over 7.
And there's a lot of people who say that it should take another year to iron out the bugs instead of releasing so soon after the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Even though, to be fair to Legends Arceus, how soon it releases after Diamond and Pearl is not a factor, considering that the Diamond and Pearl remakes are being made by a separate developer than
Legends Arceus.
Yeah, than Legends Arceus is. Don't worry, I just stutter my words sometimes. I don't know why. Personally, whether the game comes out good, whether it comes out bad, I'm not getting it, so it's not going to really bother me. But a lot of people want this to be the direction that Pokemon goes. So, for Pokemon's sake, I hope it goes good.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, my prior hindsight to Sword and Shield makes me worry that it's not going to be. There's also people that are a bit skeptical of it, considering it's being made by the same developers that made Pokemon Home, which has a lot of controversy around it as well. Do you have any other info on Legends Arceus?
Nothing that I can really think of.
What do you think is the most correct way to say Arceus?
I believe it is actually just Arceus, but I watch too much M&J TV, so I'm starting to pronounce it Arceus, because I think it's supposed to be based off of Arc and Zeus, from a video I watched like forever ago.
I know that Zeus is the god of lightning, but I don't know what the Arc part of it would be.
I
don't know.
Someone get their phone. We go to Google. Kyle, my phone's out of reach. I'm kidding, I'm on Tumblr.
Not while we're recording. I think it's Arceus only because that's, the version I remember from like the show. That's literally my only excuse. That and I'm not exactly a reliable source for Pokemon names though, considering that I still say Groudon wrong.
Groudon!
Exactly. That's my point.
Grounded.
Like, is it Kyogre or is it Kyogre?
Kyogre.
Okay, that one I actually say right then. But point is, Pokemon names are weird. But before we go on the tangent, is there anything else that you have for Legends Arceus? Or anything around, like, say, the Pokemon that are known to be in it so far?
I'm just really excited to see this because it looks like it's just going to be Pokemon from every region that we've seen so far to date. So, I think if I get the game, I may try to target a little Shinx first. Because Shinx is my favorite electric type. That's part of the reason I bought the DLC because there was Shinx you can get it in Sword and Shield.
I guess if we're going to talk about the DLC of Sword and Shield, I may as well make my point of I do not like that the Pokemon Company is releasing DLC for that game instead of just having it in the base game. Personally, I find it a bit scummy, but that's just me. I have not bought the DLC because I have not gotten past the Fire Gym or in
Water.
whichever gym, the Water Gym in Sword and Shield. Still,
I beat
so
the game
long after.
repeatedly.
Yeah,
I played through most of the deals. I played through both DLCs all the way through.
yeah, I
I
haven't.
have no life.
I guess that's another thing that I want to mention for both Legends Arceus and for the Diamond and Pearl remakes is I hope they do not make anything DLC blocked in it, especially for the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
I hope to bring back the battle thing they had over in Diamond and Pearl, like
The Battle Tower.
I think that's what it's called. I believe.
That was something, I'm going to bring this up, that a lot of people wanted for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire that they didn't have. And people were a bit pissed about that in that game. I'm not sure if they're going to have it in the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I'm more worried that they might have it, but then block it behind like a $5 paywall or something like that. Which would be not only very scummy, but also would piss off a lot of people. And I'd say that's the same for, say, a lot of the in-game events. Because the original Diamond and Pearl had a lot of events because it had a lot of
Mythical.
yeah, you don't need to correct me. I will correct myself. It has a lot of mythicals and legendaries in it. The main problem is that if they lock it behind a paywall for you to be able to go on to whatever the island name is to get Darkrai, there's going to be some people that are going to be pissed for having to pay, say, $3 or $5 or however many much to be able to just do a small event to get one Pokemon. But that's just going to depend on if they do that or not. This is just sort of a worry of mine, I guess. Why are you on Twitter when we're recording?
You're talking about something. I wanted to check something.
Well, I was going to say, like, you know about all the events for the mythicals and legendaries. Do you think they're going to paywall that?
No, I think that may be like early on special, like timed release events. Like you've got, say you get the game, you got the first month from the game's release to be able to get some of these events, like they did in, I think it was Sword and Shield where you could get, oh no, it was Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon where you could get a Rockruff with its hidden ability to get the Dusk form, or no, special ability on Tempo to get the Dusk form of Lycanroc. I did it. I have a Dusk form of Lycanroc.
May I also point out, and I just remembered this, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu did paywall Mew by making it so that you have to get a Pokeball Plus to be able to get it.
Yeah, I bought the Pokeball Plus.
Same.
Just because I wanted the Mew. I've been planning to use it for Pokemon Go, but it's like, I've been getting lazy.
Yeah, and I did
also,
the exact
I
same
can't
thing.
find it where, and also I can't find it. I lost it like several months ago, and I have no idea where.
God dang it.
Stop judging.
All right,
It's a good thing, though.
before we spiral out of control into like rambling nonsense, and she somehow ends up on Henry Stickmin, we are going to end the podcast. I hope that the listeners enjoyed. This was a bit short, but to be fair, neither of us are good at podcasts, and I didn't really plan on many topics for today.
The last one went almost 2 hours.
I don't remember how long it was.
It was like an hour and 40-some minutes. We were just BSing about Pokemon and primarily Henry Stickmin, me going nuts.
Right. So, a little bit of a shorter podcast, but I hope that you all enjoyed. Thank you for coming. Do you have any final words?
I'm good.
All right. Hope you have a great day.
Peace out.